There's going to be a lot of clapping in this video because we are going to be getting so much reading done. It's Marathon March, people. I just made that up, but we're gonna go with it anyways. I also thought of Marathon, but May is too far away. We'll focus on that when we get there. Hi everyone, my name is Holly, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all of the books that I plan to read in March. Not plan, will. So this is month 3 of my series clean out challenge, where I am focusing on reading all of my unread completed series that I own. I was only able to mark off 1 series last month, but I did start 2 series which I'm going to finish this month, and I'm going to start a ton more. You know those readers with like the superpower of reading like 15 books in a month? We are going to be one of those people. And yes, I said we because I believe in you. You are going to get so much reading done this month, including me. I'm here with you. We'll do this together. Actually, I should show you like my physical list of my challenge. So I have everything written on this notepad right here, and it goes onto the back. Yikes. I also have a video of me going through every single series that I have here, and I'll link that down below for you if you want to check it out. But we are going to take down so many of these series this month. It is going to be so satisfying. So let's go ahead and start with the very first book, which is a bit random, but it is going to be The Borrow by Mark Smiley. I'll actually be filming a reading vlog for this one because in my January book haul, I asked you guys if you would be interested in seeing that, and with over 500 votes, 98% of you said yes. You are all pervs. I see you. That video will actually be going up on the 9th of this month, so be on the lookout for it. It should be really fun and scary. I say scary because this is an adult fantasy, but it's supposed to be extremely rated R, extremely dirty. So please do not read this book if you are not into that. Like, it's supposed to take things to the extreme level. In fact, maybe you should wait for my reading vlog before you decide to pick this book up. I really don't want to take your innocence away, even though a ton of you have already tagged me in pictures on Instagram of you having bought this book already. I am absolutely not contributing to society, but I guess we're gonna go on this wiener journey together. Yay! Oh boy. The trigger warnings for this are through the roof, but the fantasy element to it sounds so cool, and that's really what I'm focusing on. Maybe. But it's all about a group of adventurers who are looking for a hidden tomb, so it should be a good ride. That was bad wording. After reading that, I will probably want to cleanse my brain of all of the wieners. So I will be reading Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, Book 2, The Hammer of Thor, as well as book 3, The Ship of the Dead. I read book 1 last month, and I just want to immediately read these so I can check mark it off my list. I cannot wait to see how this trilogy ends. Book 1 ended on quite the cliffhanger that has left me with so many questions. I'm also really excited to meet some new modernized Norse mythology characters, maybe even some I've never heard of, which was actually the case for the first book. I met some characters that I didn't know were a thing. So it should be a very fun, knowledgeable adventure, and I should fly through these very quickly like I did book 1. Another series that I will be marking off my list is A Red Country by Joe Abercrombie. This is technically book 6 within the First Law universe. I'm so incredibly freaking excited for this book because it's supposed to have this Western fantasy element to it, which I don't think I've ever read a Western fantasy before, at least nothing recently. And it follows a female character, which there's something about Joe Abercrombie, how he writes female characters are always so strong and so layered and just freaking amazing to read about. Like, I'm already getting Best Served Cold vibes. So in this book we are following Shy, who is returning home from a trip to get supplies with her stepfather, but when they arrive they found that their home has been burned down and that her younger brother and sister have disappeared. So another revenge story that should be freaking mwah. This one is also a lot shorter than like every Abercrombie book that I've read. So again, another one that I should quickly fly through. So I was about to say this is where things get ambitious, but no, it's not ambitious, because that word just gives like this false sense of security, which makes it feel like I'm not going to finish all of these books, but I freaking will. I will, damn it. So the new series that I will be starting and finishing this month, why am I questioning this? I will be finishing this month. Oh yeah, people, it's happening. The Broken Empire trilogy by Michael Lawrence, which consists of Prince of Thorns, King of Thorns, and Emperor of Thorns. Now, I have said this a few times before, but I have actually read half of this book a few years ago. I was reading it in a mass market paperback, and I hated reading it in like that little tiny book where you're just like, you barely open it and you crack the spine, and the words are like freaking super tiny. So I was like, screw it, I am buying the hardcovers, which took years to find at a decent price, and I'm ready to finish off this book and finish what I started, and I can't wait. This book in particular follows a 10-year-old boy named Jorg, who is like a little evil Dennis the Menace, and he runs away from home because he prefers to join the highwaymen to basically kill, torture, and rape everything that he sees. So yes, a very, very dark book, but I mean, it's in the grimdark genre for a reason. But Jorg is basically on a revenge mission against the man who killed his mother and his brother. I believe Jorg gets older with every book, and I'm just so happy that I'm finally making the decision to read this series, because it's been on my shelf for so long, and I know I'm going to love it. And then I can move on to the Red Queen's War, and then Red Sister. Like, I feel complete right now. And no, that is not the only series I am going to be starting and finishing this month. Yeah, The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye, as well as book 2. This is a YA fantasy duology, and I am delving into this month. This fantasy has a historical twist to it, and it's set in 19th century Russia. Another series that's been on my shelves for far too long, and yes, it is YA, so there's a higher chance of me DNFing it or just not enjoying it. So I do have high hopes. I would love, love, love to get to Semiosis by Sue Burke. This is an adult sci-fi, and I have had the goal of reading more science fiction books this year, and I haven't done that. So I want to start focusing on that goal and get this book on my TBR. It sounds so cool and fun. It's all about these colonists who find a new planet, and it's lush and green, which you think would be a good thing, but when they get there, they end up finding out that these plants have like a mind of their own, and they start killing people. So it has kind of this horror element to it, and like, oh, that sounds so rad, and I can't wait to read this. Also, it's not really that long either, but it is sci-fi, so I'm sure it's a little bit on the denser side, but I'm not scared. Okay, one more book. That's it, one more, I promise. Beneath the Citadel by Destiny Surya. This is a book that my boyfriend actually picked for me to read. Sometimes I allow him to do that because he is the one who picked Half a King for me, and that book changed my life. So now I'm like, come on, Darren, you need to pick a book for me to read because I might love it. I'm pretty sure this is a standalone. It's a YA fantasy following, I believe, 6 characters, and the story starts out with 4 of them going to the council to get their fate determined because they were caught breaking into the Citadel, which is an offense punishable by death, and after they are sentenced, they use their abilities to escape, and they get lost within the dark tunnels that are underneath the Citadel, and they discover some really dark secrets. So I'm really excited to get to this one. So honestly, there are a lot more books that I would love to get to in March. I could easily pick out like 15 books that I want to read right this second, but I feel like that's a normal reader problem. But that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can add me as a friend on Goodreads so that you guys get updates on my reading. But that's going to do it for today. I really hope you enjoyed. Give this video a big thumbs up if you did. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. I upload videos every single week. And until we meet again, happy reading.